half and half in-depth reporting and analysis on the state of India's environment. Welcome to Living on the Edge. Coming up on the program: sun, sand and radioactivity, pub hopping in Bangalore, a mining menace and a massive mammal's secrets. A few weeks ago, Pradeep Kumar wrote to us from Kerala telling us about the high incidence of natural radioactivity in his home district of Karunagapalli. I think that we have the right to know about this from the authorities, and I hope that Living on the Edge can help us in this regard. Taking a cue from this letter, Roshni Jayakrishnan visited the area. She was heckled, pushed about, but mostly avoided by the authorities. Here's her report.
Babu is 23 years old. He lives on the Karunagapalli coast in Kerala. Babu is different. He was born with the Down syndrome, which means he's mentally retarded. Babu will always be dependent on his family for all his needs. Madhavi has been living in Karunagapalli for the last 40 years. She has a growth on her neck that some say is caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. The question is, where does the radiation come from? Karunagapalli soils have a special quality. Nowhere else in the world are so many rare minerals found in one patch of sand. And yes, the soils are radioactive.
In the Kollam district, people have lived, admittedly, for thousands of years. But the problem is that previously, everything was blamed to the fate, to karma. Now, in modern terms, we have scientific knowledge, and we are examining it. What is the cause of these deformities? And it is definitely found that there is a direct linkage with the radioactive sand in that area.
So here is a coast that looks like any other in our country, but is actually very unique. The sand here has a 91% mineral concentration compared to a normal 2 to 3%. Even more significant is the thorium content in this sand, which has the potential of causing a host of health problems to people living along its coast. Karunagapalli has had naturally occurring radioactive sands for centuries. It was only as recently as 1990 that a study was initiated to look into the effects of radiation on the local population. But the study was restricted to cancer incidents in the area.
My name is Roshni.
Living on the Edge received some information about this research in a letter from a viewer wanting us to cover the issue. He claimed nothing was being done by the government to find out about the possible effects of radiation on the local residents. We met up with him.
അപ്പോൾ ഒരു ചുരുക്കം പറഞ്ഞ 10 വീടെടുത്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു വീട്ടിൽ ഒരു ക്യാൻസർ കേസ് ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. ചിലർ മരിച്ചു പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ചിലർ ജീവിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് മെഡിക്കൽ ഫെസിലിറ്റിയുടെ കുറവുണ്ടായിരിക്കും.
Living on the Edge decided to visit the Regional Cancer Center to get the findings on the 7-year-long research being carried out by them in Karunagapalli. With the data that you have collected so far, is it possible for you to link up the radiation and the cancer?
We did not find any difference between the high background radiation area and the normal background radiation area as far as cancer incidence is concerned.
I question all such official claims which say there is no such findings. It's a scientific fraud.
The fact is that the findings of the study haven't been made public. And what about birth abnormalities and physical disabilities which continue to crop up in the area? The effects of radiation on the human body could be Down syndrome, cancer, physical deformities, miscarriage, and mental retardation. A year ago, Pankajakshi's husband died of cancer. Today, she also has the disease. She has to travel nearly 200 kilometers for treatment since none is available in Karunagapalli.
ഭയങ്കര ചുമയും വലിവും വിമഷ്ടങ്ങളും ഈ തണുപ്പുണ്ടാകുന്ന സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ വരും. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരാഴ്ച സുഖമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച നമുക്ക് മൊത്തം അസുഖമാണ്. നമ്മുടെ അസുഖം കണ്ട അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മരിക്കുന്ന രീതിയാണ്.
The locals have no access to specialized healthcare. In fact, the authorities go to the extent of disclaiming any knowledge of radiation. There is a material there in the sand which is radioactive, right?
I don't know.
As if the locals didn't have enough to contend with, the government-run Indian Rare Earths began mining in the area. Here was a coast rich with illuminite. Illuminite is the source for the most precious metal in the world, titanium, used in aeroplanes and rockets. It has to be mined, but at what cost? For Pankajakshi, moving to Karunagapalli as a bride 35 years ago has been quite a disaster. She lost her husband to cancer, she's ailing from cancer too, and the sea has claimed her home. She blames the Indian Rare Earths Company and their mining for all her troubles.
മണ്ണെടുത്തോണ്ട് പോവുക, വലിയ എന്തോന്നൊക്കെ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് തുരന്ന് മണ്ണുകൾ കൊണ്ടുപോവുകയാണ്. അവര് കൊണ്ടുപോയി എല്ലാം നശിച്ച് അവര് വന്നാണ് ഈ കരകളെല്ലാം പോയത്. 2-3 മൈലിന് ദൂരെ നിന്ന് കിടന്ന കടലുകളാണ്. ആ കടൽ ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ വന്ന്.
Mining activities have forced people out of their houses they have occupied for generations. Not only have many families lost their homes, they have also lost their livelihood.
The welfare fund was something about 3 lakhs. It would be spent about 30 kilometers long mining area. I don't know what they can do with that 3 lakhs. It should be given to the mining area people for their uplift. I don't think any constructive benefit has been, anything has been constructive is done.
The local ADM feels differently.
I think it is better to shift the whole families from the area and declare the area as mining area.
When we tried to film the mining activity, we were ordered to move away even though we were on a public beach.
You have to ask the people and get a permission. It's the government of India company.
Restricted area,
So you have to get a permission.
At the separation unit, the Indian Rare Earths officials were at their aggressive best. We did manage to extract a few words though.
We were just told to leave and they were quite unpleasant with us.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. So is there something that you don't want to share with everyone, that why is it so secretive?
No,
it's just a process of mining, right? Is there
No,
anything to
the
hide?
problem is like this. We are directly under the Department of Atomic Energy.
We are not asking secret of the government of India's defense activities to be told to the public. We are not inquiring about that. What we are saying that it has a national hazard. It is threatening our posterity, and it has an ecological disaster for the population.
The only way to control the mining in the area is to prove that mining is the primary cause for the receding shoreline. Local non-governmental organizations filed a petition following which the High Court instructed the Center for Earth Sciences to conduct a study and assess the erosion caused by mining in the area. This is impossible to prove because this part of Kerala has a naturally eroding coastline.
In 2 years, we should be able to get a correct figure about the mineable quantity, if at all mineable. Otherwise, we will say, no, you should not do this.
So now it will take you about 2 years to be able to
Exactly.
gauge whether or not
Yes.
this mining is safe.
And if so, how much?
Okay. Until then, the mining will continue.
Yes.
The residents of Karnagapalli await answers to some never-ending questions. Will the link between mining and erosion ever be established? Will they ever know the effects of radiation on their health? Will they receive specialized health care to deal with radiation and its effects? Will they be compensated for all they have lost?
Questions begging for answers. On that note, we take a break, but when we come back, we go pub hopping in Bangalore and check out a mining menace. Don't go away. You're watching Living on the Edge. Tell me, what comes to mind when you think of Bangalore? Manicured gardens, great weather, the Vidhana Sauda. Who am I kidding? What really comes to mind first? The pubs, right? So let's go pub crawling with Nandini Rajwade in Bangalore.
Living on the Edge team is in Bangalore this week to get you attitudes to a habit that the pubs here are only too familiar with. Join us as we go pub hopping. Sorry.
Once in 2 weeks.
4 times a week? Every day. 4 या 5 pub में घूमता हूँ. Can I ignore this?
Yeah, please.
Please. Because we are from a very conservative family. Most of the weekends,
Weekly thrice.
Occasionally with my husband.
Anytime I get the chance. I enjoy the surrounding. Come out and relax, just for the heck of it. Sometimes I'm feeling alone, I come. For change, I come. For enjoyment, I come. The women are a major point of it all. So that's it. And the music, if there's music, good music. To break the monotony of life, nothing better to do.
Sometimes because I'm with friends and they're all drinking, so I end up drinking.
Most people enjoy a drink socially, but what begins as a form of entertainment could slowly, with regular intake, take its toll over your health. If you are a social drinker, have you ever contemplated the possible health effects of excessive drinking?
I don't think it affects the health.
Well, you get chronic liver, so you get cirrhosis of the liver. Those are many of the things if you're a chronic alcoholic.
First of all, your faculty, your mind, because you are not in control of your senses.
The effect of alcohol on a person drinking on an empty stomach.
Have you ever thought of any sort of health impact of having too much of alcohol?
Oh no, not really actually. My knowledge is less about it. All kinds of other social problems in your family life, things like that, drunkenness is normally not a good thing for children and the rest of your family.
This is how alcohol can affect your health.
From casual drinking to alcoholism can catch anybody unawares. So watch out.
From the pubs of Bangalore to the coal mines of Madhya Pradesh to investigate one of the most hazardous forms of mining known to man, Romil Shanmugam had to prowl about the mines to file this report.
Chilka Dand is a small village in the Singrauli region of Uttar Pradesh. It lies in the shadow of the Khadia coalfields, which supplies coal to several National Thermal Power Corporation thermal power stations in the region. Living on the edge was informed of hardships to the people due to the proximity of the coal mines to the village. We decided to investigate. According to the Ministry of Forests and Environment, no quarries involving blasting and the use of heavy machinery can be located within 500 meters of a rail, road or residential area. Living on the edge found that the village was separated from the coal fields by only a small strip of road. Blasting in the mine area and the constant movement of coal trucks were churning up fine particles of coal dust.
इसे गांव के अधिकांश लोगों को यानी कि जो आजकल जो बच्चे नई पीढ़ी उत्पन्न हो रही है उसमें तरह तरह की बीमारियां जैसे कि कैंसर, टीबी इस तरह के रोग हो जा रहे हैं.
We found little children wheezing, unable to breathe properly. The people are poor. Treatment is unaffordable.
क्यों इसका इलाज नहीं करा रहे हो?
पैसा है या नहीं है ना?
The vibrations during the blasting operations inside the mine are so strong that houses rattle and shake. Some like this one even collapse.
Most houses had cracks. The residents told us the authorities hardly ever helped them rebuild their shattered homes.
साहब मकान बनाए थे, मकान गिर गया ब्लास्टिंग से. न तो एनटीपीसी सुन रही है ना तो एनसीएल सुन रहा है. अब हमारे पास कोई सहारा नहीं है कि हम इसे बना लें.
The immediate threat to Chilka Dand, however, is from the huge piles of earth that need to be removed before getting to the coal seams. This earth has been stacked perilously close to the village.
If it were to rain heavily and the entire overburden were to collapse, then the mud and slush would engulf the whole village. The threat is imminent.
The polluter pays principle, according to the Supreme Court of India, means that the polluter not only compensates the victims of pollution, but must also bear the cost of restoring the environment. Were the authorities aware of the hardships the people had to suffer because of the mining? we confronted the general manager of the Khadia coalfields and asked him if mining was conducted in a sustainable manner.
You have made the terraces and plantation is going on because it is a live dump. So all the dumps cannot be planted at a time. It will take years to come. During the rainy season, the whole soil was coming down. Now we have made the arrest.
Weren't the cracks in the houses a direct outcome of mining?
I think it may have added due to the poor quality of house building and the vibration level.
Since you are the agency which is causing all the hardships to the people, so the responsibility lies first with you?
No, see. It is not the NCL only who are causing the hardship to the people. NCL is here, NTPC is there, then our state government is there.
The district collector refused to talk to us on camera.
Essentially, so I get the impression after this discussion that you are unaware of the problems of the people in this particular area. Problems from pollution and rehabilitation.
इस एंगल से एक्चुअली कि जो आपको इंप्रेशन लोगों ने दिया है, इस आशय का एक्चुअली कंप्लेन वी हैव नॉट चेक सो फार।
आप लोग अधिकारियों को शिकायत करते हैं कि
जी इसकी शिकायत करते हैं अधिकारियों को।
क्या रिस्पांस मिलता है?
इस बार कुछ नहीं, बस कभी कभी पानी का छिड़काव रहता है, वही होता है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा।
I asked the district collector whether he would take action based on our report.
और आपने जो संकेत किया है, वो भी मैं वेरीफाई करूंगा।
अगर मैं 6 महीने बाद आऊंगा और मैंने जो आपको मैंने बताया, मैं वो क्या देखने मिलेगा?
इसमें तो आप पाएंगे जो भी चीजें हमारे को प्रोजेक्ट नहीं की गई है। मान लीजिए कि ये कठिनाइयां वहाँ है, डेफिनेटली यू विल फाइंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स एड्रेस्ड।
Like pawns in a chessboard, the villagers of Chilka Dand have been displaced twice already. They are all too familiar with an indifferent administration. Will 6 months be enough? We wonder.
One would think that elephants, being large and slow-moving, wouldn't have too many secrets. But pachyderms do pack a few unexpected punches, as Neelam Ahluwalia discovered when she put together this feature. One evening when the Tongduin River was in heavy spate, I saw Ma Shui with a 3-month-old baby trapped in the fast-rising torrent. Her calf was screaming with terror. With a really gigantic effort, she picked it up with her trunk so as to be able to place it on a rock 5 feet above flood level. Having accomplished this, she herself fell back into the raging torrent.
You'll probably think I'm joking if I tell you that 65 million years ago, this huge creature was actually a small hippopotamus-like mammal. Let me introduce you to Moratorium, an animal who is believed to be the first stage in the evolution of the present-day elephant.
Interestingly, this creature possessed neither a trunk nor tusks. 30 million years later, Moratorium evolved into someone called Paleomastodon, a creature which had quite a resemblance to the present-day elephant. Then came the mammoth, the last link in the evolution cycle of the elephant. These paintings found in cave shelters in Europe reveal that these beasts were hunted by prehistoric man for meat, bones, hide and ivory. For the last 10,000 years, only 2 species of elephants have roamed the earth, the Asian elephant and its larger cousin, the African elephant. The 2 species are easily distinguishable. The African elephant has larger ears, longer tusks and a curved saddle back. There is a bizarre correlation between the ear size of the elephant and the exposure to the sun. and elephants' ears act as thermoregulation devices. The small-eared Asian elephant, being a forest dweller, has lesser exposure to the sun as compared to its African cousin. So the large ears protect the African elephant from overheating internally. Contrary to animal stories, where the elephant is portrayed as a lone individual, ill-tempered and vengeful, a loner is something of a rarity in the wild. Elephants always live in herds. The team leader of an elephant group is an experienced female elephant. The matriarch, as she is called, is the epitome of power and control in the elephant world. The matriarch is also responsible for nurturing the young ones. Incidentally, a wild cow elephant can deliver a calf once every 2 years, producing about 20 in a lifespan of 70 years. Like us humans, elephants too have extremely strong family ties. Incest is as much a taboo among elephants as it is among us. Now that makes life kind of complicated for the developing males. If they were ever to be caught making sexual advances towards females of their own family, the matriarch would banish them from the group forever. Now to tell you a little about an elephant's hobbies. They love being in water. Eating is another happy activity. From grasses to bamboo shoots to leaves and twigs of shrubs. He's certainly not a fussy eater and can eat non-stop for 16 hours in a day. So, if an elephant has lived for 65 years, 45 of those would surely have been spent eating. They are certainly awe-inspiring, be it in their magnificent physical form or their unique family behavior. Today, poaching of elephants for their ivory tusks and loss of their habitat on account of deforestation is resulting in a rapid decrease in their numbers. If steps are not taken to conserve these animals, their days in the wild are numbered.